Figure we'll do a quick in the summer walk around, see what's going on out here. There's some nasturtium, a lot of good stuff. There's a pawpaw in there behind that grass. Some of the cherry tomatoes we grew this year. Some kale. There's one of those, I don't know, Siberian pea, I think. A rose bush. Some of them beans that never did that were great this year. Little squash never did much of nothing. Some white peas, a couple weeds. Some of that Egyptian walking onion, very little bit of it. Beets, vetch in there as well for cover. Some grass, nasturtium, and pepper over there. Brand new agriculture bed here. This walkway. There's a little bit of kale growing there under these elm trees. These elm trees here, it don't get much water down here. It tends to stay pretty dry. Well, some stuff died over here this summer because of that dry. Wasn't gonna make it anyways, more than likely. It's more agriculture out there in the yard. Of course, this pathway in the early spring, it's got plenty of good stuff growing along the edges of it. Kind of died back by now. There's some more lettuce going to seed. Of course, I've cut most of the seed heads off already and moved them inside. Some flowers. Look nice. Lots of nice, pretty flowers everywhere. There's some kind of forget what kind of tree it is. Oh no, that's a gummy berry. There's one of those Korean stone pines I put in. That one's probably going to move at some point. Stone pines have also planted some winter green down towards the base of them. You can see it there. It's starting to get a little bit better off. First year I've put in a bunch of the perennials, so pretty new. And just some local cherries, local sour cherries. And, let's see, there's a currant. There's some a whole bunch of different stuff in there. A little apple that I'm going to graft onto this year. More nasturtium, some peppers. All of this was in radish and wheat and oats and peas for an early cover crop this summer, and there's a lot of it went to seed and was coming back. And kale, this kale over here, they work as a trap plant for aphids and grasshoppers. There's some, that's either horseradish or some kind of chard. I'm not exactly sure on that one. There's a beet in there too. More kale, of course. Nasturtium. Some squash. That plant over there, the zucchini, did pretty good this year. I've been using curly dock for a chop and drop. It's sitting right there. One of them. Just keep working our way around here, I suppose. Fresh mulch just put down yesterday. Trimmed back the elms and chopped that up. Put it in there. Really spent time with at the bottom of it. Yeah, comfrey doesn't take off real good around here, so I've been using these curly docks for chop and drop. There's some more of that scarlet runner bean and another currant in there. Of course, elm. Elms everywhere. Bought this property, it had 21 elms on it. Now it's probably more like 35 or 40. Cut a bunch of them back, and a bunch more came back. So I don't know how that goes. There's some squash in there. That one never did much. Of course, this ground right in here hasn't been propped up that much. Hasn't been built too much. Radish that's about worked its way out of the ground. Oh well, something to eat it this winter. Nasturtium. Right in here, there's pretty heavy. Sometimes we'll get some of those golden oyster mushrooms coming out of this. Inoculated the logs in the hugelkultur with it. Get a flush of those about twice a year, and the temperature passes about 65 degrees in the spring and fall. Some more. This one. These are the first year of that horseradish. There's a couple of them in there. They haven't done that great this year, but they survived, so they'll do better next year. Another squash that's putting one on over there, and the pollinator pine, the silver ray Korean pine. It's looking pretty rough because it don't have any support structures, no hugelkultur to keep it up. Had to water it manually quite a bit this year. And of course we got some weeds, little thistles. They get chop and drop pretty regular. There's a second year carrot and flower. And of course all over the place there's onions and some white onion. Egyptian walking onion. Probably ought to bury the end of that. There we go. I have more Egyptian walking onions next year. Oh yeah, there's a hardy kiwi. One of them up here. Some more back over there in the other part of the yard. We'll go back over that direction now. There's a little dog den. Decorative pumpkin. There's the dog. Another tomato there. Puts a few on. And I haven't watered much this summer. Didn't take too much. It has been kind of a dry year, but this hugelkultur helps a lot. Another hardy kiwi, first year. The ones that I planted early did real good. I planted some later, they didn't do quite as well. This little western facing portion of the house here, some tomatoes in there. And doesn't do a whole lot because it's so shady in here. Only gets sun about 3 hours a day. You can see how the tomatoes like to walk out in the middle of it. There's a little multi-graft apple that I'm going to steal some I'll steal some cuttings off of that to graft onto my other trees. I know of a couple of wild apple trees that are pretty good too in this local area that I'll be grafting off of pretty regular. And of course there's little pawpaws mixed in all over the place. I kind of forget about them. They're a little rough this year, but a lot of them will make it. There's a male hardy kiwi. More of those local cherries coming up pretty well here and there. There's another one of them over in here somewhere. It might come back next year. There's one. I use these to pull nitrogen out. We move it around. There's an apple tree. I think that's Liberty apple in its first year. Some vining mulberries. Hugelkultur in process. Siberian pea shrub, taters, more kale. I'm going to tear this hugelkultur down and get some of them sticks that are showing out of it. Bury them in the other one over there. Mushroom food. That old hugelkultur back there, it needs some nitrogen fixers real bad in it. Yeah, I'm going to use most of this for mulch this winter. See what happens with it. That needs to be torn down. I'm going to change a lot of different stuff up here in the backyard. Mushroom log processing station. Just started working on yesterday. It's not quite finished yet. Yeah, that's about it as far as garden goes. So we got a pretty good look at it. Another stone pine. Well, have a good day. Bye-bye.